In January of 1988, 7 months after Nboka graduated, I decided to walk over 20 miles into the tropical forest to visit Nboka and to see how he was doing as a lay pastor in the remote village of Langbate. Nboka told me that when he began his work there were only 12 baptized members. Now, 7 months later, he had over 70 baptized members and hundreds of people coming for the services. I was also told that this walk was going to be 4 hours long and about 18 miles.
Occasionally in our journey we come through villages like this. In fact, probably once about every 2 or 3 miles we do. So, as you can see, it's a little bit more remote than the other villages that we're used to.
Oftentimes along the way, we are welcomed with choirs.
There's been 2 or 3 villages now, well 2 villages so far that we've been eating at. This is the second one, and probably in about an hour and a half we'll have another big hefty meal. It's their way to show appreciation. For the past 15 miles there's only been one church to service the whole region, and people have to walk, if they want to go to church, they have to walk sometimes up to 4 hours to go.
This particular village fed us goat meat, cooking bananas, and spicy chicken. I saw a couple of interesting things in the villages as we passed through. This actually is a forge.
He actually made this rifle in such a way. The problem is the metal's not that strong and sometimes the rifles blow up.
We were also welcomed with music. And a few challenges. As you may have noticed, we're carrying in a box of Lingala Bibles. It's very difficult for people in such remote regions to get them. So in just 2 days, I sold all 20 of the Bibles that I had brought in. Now this might not sound that impressive, but most of these people have no steady income. So a Bible really is a prized possession.
Okay. Well, our 4-hour trip turned out to be an 8.5-hour trip, and our 18 miles turned out to be about 25 miles. We're here at last. Okay, and here's the village.
For the rest of the evening, we sat around the fire and talked. By the next morning, I revived from the walk and was ready to watch Nboka at work. Every morning before people go out of the village to their gardens or go hunting, Nboka shares the Word of God and they pray together. For the rest of the day, I followed Nboka as he showed me different aspects of his work. We went into the next village over, and he used this chart to tell people about the gospel. Several people gave their lives to Christ after his presentation. Back at church, Nboka held his weekly Bible study for the young people. It was exciting to see Nboka discipling these new believers hungry for the Word of God. Nboka's wife is also very busy teaching women how to read. After passing their tests, each one of these ladies will receive a Lingala Bible. This drummer is calling people to worship. We had 2 worship services, one Saturday night and one Sunday morning. Some people walked over 4 hours to be at the services. Very full church today. It's still filling up right now. Nboka and I both gave messages, and afterwards we gave an altar call. Over 50 people gave their lives to Christ, or else rededicated their lives to Christ.
Tomoni guia bala nambala, te bala mususu guia bazali koloba panabiso ete bazali milimo na bakufi. Te tondi miango. Yesu Cristo, aye, kasi aye longo na seete, aye longo na lola.
After the service, we served manioc roots and tea for communion. For many of these people, it was the first time, first opportunity they had to have communion. So it was a very moving service. Immediately after Sunday service, it was time to go home.
After a bunch of handshakes, we're ready to go. I think we're going to pray before we go. So I'm going to ask Predicateur here. Tobondela? Nabato Yoso? Oui. Okay.
To show their appreciation, I was given eggs, pineapples, and a couple of chickens. Then the church walked me down to the river, where we loaded up a dugout canoe for my trip home.
That is not the canoe we'll be taking, fortunately. I think we'll be taking that one that's sitting right on over there. We just finished patching up the holes. These things leak, and we'll be bailing out occasionally. Finished patching that up though, and we're loading up this thing, and we're going to fit 4 people in here. We will have water coming right just about to the edge.
Vino.
That's where the fishermen build little structures for